All right, family, we are back. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all my new subscribers. And please hit that like, smash that notification bell, and subscribe to your sister channel. Man, I was just checking out silver today. Wow, $80.56. You know I'm excited, family. You know why. And gold is 4,723. That is amazing. You know why I'm excited, because when I did the video last week, I was showing you the beautiful coins I got from Atmex. And, I was telling you how I paid almost $18 over spot because I really wanted, the year of the horse. And I know that company is an amazing company. And I do buy from different places. Sometimes I buy high, sometimes I buy low. A lot of us, we are going to be buying high because we are stackers, right? But we're happy when we get a deal. And when I was at the coin show, I was telling you how I got, some of the silver coins at, for 1 ounce, I got it at $70. And at that time, I think we were at, it was like $4 uh, back from spot, right? So at that time, I think silver was around $73, $74, and I was getting it at $70 an ounce. So, family, we know as stackers that we have to look for the deals, because when we're buying high, we don't get upset. Yeah, we're like, oh, why is it so high? But when we get it low, under spot, it balances out our investments. And some of you guys are for the hobby, and some of you guys are for collector. I am for investing for my future and for my family's future. So I enjoy it, and I'm looking to hold. So whether it's high or low, I am always looking to find a deal. And sometimes it's just not there, but it is in the budget. So yeah, so seeing that it's 80, and shout out to Sue Ann. The reason why I'm doing this video is I seen Sue Ann, and she said, Angel, I saw your video at the coin show. You're at the coin show. She said, but did you buy any coins? And I said, yeah, I'll do a video and show you the coins. So today I'm going to show you the coins I bought. Um, and you guys saw the video before. The first video I did at the coin show was when they didn't let me video. They had a big sign on there, no video, no recording. So I respected it. However, somebody did tell me in the comments, hey, Angel, just ask, some of the people that are selling at their tables, their separate tables. Sometimes, the dealers don't mind if you videotape them. So I spoke to Tom. Tom was the guy who sold me some coins for $70 spot for 1 ounce, $70 spot when it was like around 74. So he gave me, $4 off every coin. So it was under spot. It was amazing. I showed you guys that video. That video is the one that says, you know, I got coins for $70 under spot. So watch that video and you can see the coins I got that day. Then I did a video at the coin show when I actually got to talk to Tom. And but the first day he had $70, right? $4 under spot. And then the second day I went, he had it at around $72, which was a fine, right? And spot had, and then the spot price on silver went up to 75. So he said, hey, Angel, I'll give you any coin you want for 72. So all these coins I'm showing you, or some of them are 72. So the ones that I got for 72, this is a beautiful one. This is called the seated dollar design. Check this out, family. This is the seated dollar design, 1854. Let's look at the back. Look at that. I got this for $72. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful. United States of America. I just love that. Isn't that nice? So I got that. That's a seated design. I got another Walking Liberty. This was also $72 for the Walking Liberty. Look at how pretty. That is so pretty, from 1916 to 1947. Look at the back. And it just feels so good to get a deal. So, we can't get too upset when we do, pay a little bit higher, because we know the days are going to come where we're going to get that deal. That's why it's so important, family. We got to hit up these coin shows, right, in our area. And sometimes there may not be one in your area, but you could plan a little trip, right, with a friend to go down. Oh, and I got the Mexican coin, family. Look at this one. I think this is called the Lenar. Is it the Lenar? You guys can let me know in the comments. But this is nice. And what I like about this coin is the back of it. Well, I like the angel, of course, because I'm just angel. I'm gonna have to give me a coin. But on my coin, I want to have me drinking coffee because I like to drink coffee. And a lot of you that have been knowing me through the years, look at all that. That's just beautiful. What a great coin. Look at the workmanship on that. This is why I like rounds. I really do. I love rounds because I love the designs, the beautiful designs. Look at that. Now, family, this one I didn't get for $72. For this one cost me $100. This was a gentleman that was a dealer at the show, and he was selling his Mexican coins for about $120. And I should have got the other one too. It was a really nice one with the guy with the sombrero on. Really cool coin. But that angel, I said, well, how much for the angel? He goes, I'll give it to you for $100. So spot at that time was 75, maybe 76. So that was a little bit higher. But it's a specialty coin. I love that. It's a specialty coin. Okay. Now this is another coin I got for $72. And this is called the Standing Liberty. Sorry, my neighbor's dog is out there doing what they do. Protection. Liberty and God. Isn't that a nice coin, family? That is nice. With the shield. This is called the Standing Liberty. And this was $72. You can't beat that. Look at how pretty it is. United States of America, freedom. 1 ounce of 999 silver. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And of course, I got the Buffalo Round. Isn't that amazing, family? I got this one for $72. The Buffalo Round. And that is amazing. I love the Buffalo Round. Yes. Beautiful, beautiful Buffalo Round. And then I got, this one is called the Timberwolf Design. This is the Timberwolf Design. Let's see what it says here. Yeah, Timberwolf. Now, I got a really good deal on this. This I got for $72. But this is a Canadian. And I know these are very popular, the Canadians. And for me to get this for $72 is amazing. I would have paid probably $85 actually for something like this, even though it would have been over, but I still like that coin. And then, oh my goodness, I got the Engelhart. And there was somebody in my comments that said, hey, Angel, if you really want to get some really cool coins, make sure you add the Engelhart. I said, that will be my next purchase. So when I was at the coin show, I was asking everybody, do you guys have an Engelhart? Do you guys have an Engelhart? And this guy had a 1985 and a 1986 Engelhart. So I got both of them. And there goes Engelhart. Beautiful. 999 silver. Now this one cost me $82. Each one of the Engelharts cost me $82. He was a different dealer. And this one is the other one. I believe this is the 1986 Engelhart. But family, for $82, okay, even though at that day spot went up to 75, even though I paid a little bit more for these Engelharts, there was no tax and there was no shipping. Because family, when we go online and get these coins, we have to pay for the shipping as well as tax. But when you go to the coin show, not everybody's going to give you that tax. Even though we're in California, they could have did it if they had a store, they can do it. Or just say, hey, this is my traveling store, they can charge. But they did it. So I got a great deal. I don't mind paying $82 for those Engelharts. This one I got for $72. This was a Buffalo Round, because you got to remember, I got Buffalo Rounds on the first day, but that was $70. But the second day I went, I paid $72, and it was still under spot. So that was amazing. And everybody got to make their money. The first day, sometimes people, especially if you are a business person and you're thinking, you know what, I got this table I got to pay for. I think of what I'm going to do is the first day, I'm going to go ahead and give a deal, because a lot of times the first day you don't get a lot of people because sometimes people are working. So they'll give a good deal, and the time, because when I talked to Tom the next day, he said, "Oh man, I sold a lot." And I know he did because he had a good price, and everybody was paying so high. The time the show came, and they're like, "What, $70? For 1 ounce, and it's 75." Um, you know, that's $5 or $4 under. So of course they're gonna buy if they're smart, right? So you're gonna buy more than one coin. So he probably already was able to pay for his table, right? Because you got to pay for your table. Some people flew in, right? They're not from here. They might be from LA or Colorado. Who knows? So you got to pay for that stuff. So to come in and to be able to, you know, get your table paid for, because you don't know what's going on. Because at the time it was so high, a lot of people were upset because some people bought high. Some of us were able to get in right before it went high. Um, I was fortunate because I was doing a lot of scrap gold and silver. So I did very well up until January. We all know what happened in January. They were like, right when I watched it, hold up, Angel. No, we're not taking any gold, no silver right now. The refineries are putting us on hold, so they're not locking in our prices, meaning the time they were getting to them, it might have dropped if they didn't get what they paid for from us. What they paid us, it got less sometimes. So they were like, hold up. So we all got that. Stop. so so then I got this one here. This is the Morgan. All right, this is the Morgan. This is pretty coin, pretty coin. And I got this for $72. Yeah. Isn't that beautiful? So I got everything pretty much under spot except the two angle hearts. That was $82 each. So that was still under $200 for two angle hearts, right? If I was to sell those online, I used to be a power seller on eBay. If I was to sell those two angle hearts online, I can get more than what I paid for. Some of us will pay a little more because we know how to sell it for more. We know how to get what we want, right? But we don't want to make a habit of that. But anyway, and then the Mexican coin, that one cost me $100, and I went ahead. I know that was a lot, but I wanted the coin. I should have got the other one because the sombrero was nice. Now, family, these next ones I'm going to show you are the ones I got for $70. Can you believe I got this one for $70 with the case? With the case. Look at that. Kookaburra, baby. Look at that in the case with the monkey. $70. Now, family, you know what I can get for this coin. If I was to put this online, look at that. Beautiful. And it's clean. In the case. $70 in the case. And then I got this one here. This is another Indian. Beautiful, beautiful with the stars around. This one I got for $70. So that was nice. Look at this at the back. Look at that. Man, just beautiful. Just beautiful. And then I got this one for $70. This is a really, wow, this is a nice one. I really like that. Wow, $5, 2016. $70. And look at the back of it. I like that frost around it. This has the 9999. Look at that. Just gorgeous. It got the little wolf. You see the little wolf on the corner on the bottom of the leaf? I just love coins that you could look at. And then I got another Walking Liberty. This one was $70. That's a really pretty coin. 1960, 1947. And I bought a Walking Liberty the second day as well, another one he put out, and I just paid $2 more for that. That was $72. You can't go wrong with the Walking Liberties. That is so nice. And then I got this one here. This is Silver Prospector. It's not an Engelhart, but it's like a copy of that Engelhart. Isn't that nice? Look at that. And I got this one for $70. The first day I went, I was looking for the Engelhart, and the guy said he didn't have any Engelharts. But I did pick up this one, and this is nice. The AG just means it's silver. 999. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What an amazing coin. So the second day when I went, the guy next to him had the Engleharts, the 85 and 86 year. So I got those two at a really good deal. So family, that's what I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 coins under spot. No, 15, 14, 15 coins under spot. So you can imagine when we pay $18 more, for a coin, and we're like, oh man, I can't believe I spent $18 because sometimes you go online, especially I think it's Amex. It'll say a price and then you'll hit it, and it doesn't show you until you actually send it, and then it's like, oh wait a minute, I forgot to ship it and this and that. So it ends up being sometimes just a little tad bit more than you expected, but sometimes these coins are specialty coins. I like to get mm, mm, get your coffee, fam. It's so good. I love to get coins, specialty coins, Canadian maples, walking liberties, Mexican coins. I wish I would have got the one with the sombrero. He wanted a little bit more for that one, but it was a pretty coin. I have to look for that one. Do you guys know about that coin that with the sombrero? Let me know. Maybe you might know where I can get it, at a better price. Please put it in the comments. So family, if we can get these coins under spot or at spot at a decent price, and we hold on to them, right? Because we do hold on to them. That's why I don't mind paying a little bit, because I know I'm going to hold on to it, you know. And whether I cash them whenever I retire, or if I send them off to my nephews or nieces or whoever, it's just a really good way to invest. I mean, at the show, I remember there was a gentleman, and he was next to us, and he was getting rid of his some of his silver and his gold. And the guy said, "Oh, you're getting rid of your gold?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I got taxes coming up. I got to take care of this taxes." And I thought about that, and I said, how cool is that? Like just any of these coins. Like, okay, this is like what, $70 right now. It's at 80. It's at 80. So even if I go and say, okay, you know what, I need gas. Gas is so expensive. I'm a little bit. Let's say I'm short on fiat, or I don't have enough, cash or what have you. I can take this coin and go over to my nearest coin shop and say, okay, how much will you give me for this coin here? And he might say, okay, it's a timber, you know, it's a Canadian coin. Sometimes they don't take advantage of a person that needs money for maybe medical, or just to take care of things, right? Excuse me. You might have somebody who is pretty honest, and they might say, you know what, I'll just it'll be $6 under, right? Under what the spot is. So if it's 80, they're going to give me $6 less than that, and then you can go about your business, get your gas, and it's just one coin. It's just one coin. You see, like, some of us have many coins. Or you might have to pay, my water bill's a little higher than expected. Instead of it being the 100 and something, it's 250. You can take two of your coins. It's for emergency. These are great for emergencies. you know I think it's good to have these, especially when they go up in value, because you're still benefiting fitting. And if it's not, and you lose a little bit, it's okay, you have it, right? Because you can have your money just sitting in the bank. It's the same thing, right? And sometimes you end up not saving because it's there. And then and how many times does people ask you for your money? There's been emergencies. Hey mom, blah blah. Okay, you're gonna help your kids. Oh, no problem. Your best friends and stuff. Thank God you have it. But you know, when it's stored away, some of us don't even keep it in our homes. We have it to show, but then we move it in other places. But when you need for an emergency, you know where you can go get it, right? And it's amazing. And I noticed that a lot when I would scrap out. Sometimes I'd lose an earring, put in a jar. Something would break, or it didn't fit, or maybe you just didn't like it anymore. And you can go, it's a value. You can go with that scrap and take it. And that scrap jewelry might be $500,000. You'd be like, wow, it's an investment. There's value. And we have to teach our kids and our family the value of it. Don't worry. If you say, well, It's too expensive, Angel. I can't afford it. Listen to me, family, especially a lot of us that go get our nails done, we get our hair done. When I go get my nails done, right? It costs me at least, sometimes maybe about $70 with the tip. So let's say that $70 could have bought you, you know, a piece of silver, right? You could have invested that in, a lot of us, we buy clothes. A lot of us, we buy shoes and coats and jackets and stuff. But the difference is when you take that coat, you can't get what you can get from silver and gold and platinum and copper and other, you know, um, you know, materials to get money from, right? It doesn't, there's no value like coins. So don't worry about if it goes down. So what if it goes down? Because you're not buying it. Well, maybe some of you guys are. I'm not buying it just to turn it around real fast. And what I'm saying, I'm holding on to it. I enjoy it. It's not a hobby for me either. It is an investment, but it's a pretty investment. I like to look at it. I would like to have a card game. Wouldn't that be nice? Take your little coins and you could play, hey, I bet you three. How many coins, and we could play cards with them. Right? I know some of you guys are cringing. No, I know sometimes you guys want to have your whitey gloves on. You don't want to get anything messed up. We could take the older ones, okay? The tarnished ones, and we can play some cards with these things. And it's fun, right? Enjoy your coins. It doesn't have to always be, oh my God, it's gone down now. So what? It's going to go up. Whatever comes down will go up. And what goes up, it comes down. It's called life. We're living life right now. So, yeah. And to be honest with you, I was watching some of the videos, and there was a guy, you know who I'm talking about, some of you. And people were just coming with their silver, just coming, selling it, selling it, selling it, selling it. They want to get rid of their silver and their gold. They're cashing out. Sometimes it's because it's an emergency, tax time, medical issues. I got to get rid of this credit card debt. And, or some people might say, man, I bought it when it was high. I thought it was going to, do well. So I came in at the last minute to see if it was going to go up to 200 and I can make a profit. And now my wife or my husband or my friends are telling me, oh, hey, get rid of it now before it even gets worse, before it drops and crashes all the way down. So they were rushing to these places. Sometimes the same place they bought it. And they're saying, okay, well, you bought it at 100, but we're only going to give you 70, right? I was calling a place the other day because I wanted to trade in some of my silver because I want to kind of balance out with some gold. And they were telling me, hey, it's $11 under your silver. So if you bring in a bullion, we're only going to pay you 500. So if it's 10 ounces, we're only going to pay you like $500. I'm thinking that's a rip, right? But that's their thing, right? They have to protect themselves. So you have to have several places you can go to. But some people were, well, anyway, getting back to the video, the guy kept coming in and just bringing his silver, bringing silver. People were just cashing in. So he's paying, but he's not selling, right? So when silver goes down, it gives people a chance to go and recoup, right? Buy some more product, right? And people can buy in when it's lower. And then when it's higher, people can sell higher. So when people are coming in with all, cashing in their silver or gold, when it's high, they can make money, right? So it has to balance out for the seller and for the buyers, right? Because we're on the same team. A lot of buyers are stackers as well. So we're on the same team, but when you're running a business, if everybody's just selling and you're putting that money out, right? And it's not high where you can make some money, right? It's just low and everybody's just trying to cash, and you're trying to and some stores are doing well because they are giving less, but some of the better stores that are like, okay, especially if you bought it from them, they're trying to be fair. So it's a sensitive issue, right? Because some people get really upset, and they do videos on, oh, these people ripping us off and what a rip. Even when I was saying when I bought from Amex, some people were saying, yeah, they never, give good deals. But today they're doing a good deal on for grams of gold. It's that spot, and some people that want to start getting gold, you could buy a gram of gold, right? Some people may not like silver. They might just feel like, hey, gold's better. So to each his own. But I'm happy when it's going up, and I'm happy when it's going down. Because we want to keep stacking. Do you want to keep stacking at 80 and 90 and 100, or do you kind of want to, have a balance where you can say, okay, hey, like when I went to the coin store, because I was buying high, and I was buying low, and I was like, well, it's at 80 right now, 85. I really want this coin, so I was buying it. So when I went to the coin show, and it was $10 less than what I was paying, or $15 less than what I was paying, sometimes $18 less than what I was paying. It was a blessing. So you got that balance. So now when you're buying high and low, and you look at how much you've spent, right, within that period of time versus how much you spent high and low, you can balance out your investment, right? Like when I told you I bought those 3 coins, I think I paid 18 over spot. But now here it is, I bought 15, almost 20 coins under spot. And now it's back up to 80. So you kind of balance out your investment. But anyway, family, let me know what you think. Today, it's an amazing day. I got my coin covers. I got from Amazon. So I'm going to start covering some of these up so they can look pretty like this one here. But anyway, family, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that like, smash that notification bell, and subscribe to your sister channel, because I will be trying to go again to the next coin show at the end of the month. And let's see what the difference would be, right? Where are we going to be at? And do you believe, my question to you guys, do you think we're going to go higher, or do you think we're going to keep falling down to 70 and then bumping up to 80 and then going back down? I mean, what do you guys think? I honestly think that I believe we're going to have some, ups and downs. The volatility will still be there. But I do believe that silver will get back up past 100 again. I just feel that it's going to go up again. We got a lot going on in the world that's causing different things, from wars to banks. And it just is what it is, family. We don't know exactly, but we do know what goes up must come down, and what comes down must go up. And are you ready when it comes down? And are you ready when it goes up? So my thing is, keep stacking, family. Stack, stack, stack. Okay. Hit that like on the way out. Thank you guys for listening. Love you guys, and peace, 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 peace.